Hello, 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 ladies and gents. Episode 35, Gothic 2, Night of the Raven. But Enos beheld, yeah. Let's get away from Vatras, cause he's annoying with his speech. Never-ending speech and history of Corinus and the gods. Today on the agenda, our brother Bennet's in the Slammer. Strangely enough, nothing specifically in the story drives you to an NPC or an event that tells you that he's in jail. You either go to Laris, either go straight to the barracks, because you know the story already, to Lord Andre or to Bennet himself, or you can go to the mercs, who'll immediately let you know, like Lee for example, that there's Smiths in trouble. But as we know the story already, just speak to Laris. We haven't seen him since the start of chapter 2 anyway, and he should fill us in with all that's happened.
Is it really true? Hey!
Best thief in the goddamn land.
About those missing people.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
I've been able to rescue some of the
Hey,
missing
some
people.
free XP.
I knew you'd succeed. Then I can finally go about my own business.
You listened to the wrong people.
Any news?
Any news?
You could say so. The Paladins have arrested Bennet.
Oh no.
How did that happen?
Bennet went to town to buy supplies. Well, he never came back. If you want to learn more, you should ask Hodges. He was in the city with Bennet.
Well, it's a long way to the big farm to speak with Hodges.
Any news?
You could say so.
So,
You could.
any news of Bennett?
They seem to have taken him to the barracks and tossed him into the dungeon.
How can we
Right.
get him out of there?
I don't have any ideas so far. I can't get to his cell to talk to him. All I can do is keep my ears open, but there isn't much to learn around here.
Strange that Laris can exert his influence with the water mages or the Ring of Water, at least to get inside the barracks to speak with the guy. It's not like Lord Andre has some crazy restrictions on who can and can't visit the prisoners. So I kinda doubt Laris's words there. Anyway, let's go to the barracks and see for ourselves. Problem is, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll, and it's a long way to the big farm as well, where Onar and Lee is and Hodges is, to find out more. I'd like to follow the narrative of the story by the book, because we all know we can speak to the, what's his name, Cornelius, and get the information from him that it's a setup. I'd like to follow the whole narrative here, as if this is the first time I'm playing the game.
What about Bennett, the blacksmith?
You mean the mercenary? He is sitting in jail where he belongs.
Can I talk to him?
Certainly. Just go in. But if you try to help him escape, you will be in for it.
Yeah, I won't do that. Here,
About the
he should
Thieves
tell you
Guild.
that their
You can
history.
forget the business. I have sent a few men down into the sewers. The Thieves Guild is now merely a sad chapter in the history of this city.
That's basically what happened to the Thieves Guild, Cassia and the other two. They were murdered by the city militia.
I've been able to rescue
Ooh,
some
free
of the
XP
missing
again.
people.
How many people did you find?
All of
All
them.
those who were still alive.
All? That was a grand deed.
At least we got 600 XP out of the whole business. Shit ton of XP. Concerned with the missing
You
people.
haven't come to get your buddy out of here, have you? Forget it. As soon as I raise the alarm, the boys will be here in an instant. And then, we'll have us some minced mercenary.
Very funny. Very funny. Very funny. Now, let's actually talk to our bro. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy who would just up and murder paladins, for God's sake.
How come you're in the Slammer?
Those swine have thrown me in the hole. I'm supposed to have murdered a paladin, but I didn't do it. They're only trying to frame me.
Why would they do that?
How would I know? You've got to get me out of here. Talk to Lord Hagen. Tear down the wall. Who cares? Just do something.
He's desperate, the poor old guy. He actually has one of the funniest lines in the game. At some point he tells you, they'll let me hang without further ado.
What happened?
I went downtown with Hodges to buy some supplies for our boys. Suddenly we heard a loud scream and the sound of running feet.
Get to the point.
We knew at once that something had happened and that they would grab us at once if they saw us there. We ran like hell, then just before we got to the city gate, I tripped and sprained my ankle. The rest is soon told. The militia was on me at once and they threw me straight into this hole.
Who was murdered?
I have no idea. One of the paladins. I don't know them.
Have you got a name?
Some Lothar, I think.
Oh,
Well,
that's
I don't know.
scumbag.
I'm not really sure. You had better ask Lord Hagen. He knows all the details.
Well, there's no love lost between us and Lothar. He can rest in pieces, I guess.
Do they have any evidence against you?
They say they have a witness who recognized me.
Well, do you know who the witness is?
No, all I know is that he's lying.
Who's leading the investigation?
Lord Hagen himself. Since the victim was one of the paladins, this falls under martial law.
Uh-oh.
What does that mean?
That's easy to guess. If I don't get out of here, they're going to let me swing without further ado. You've got to help me, or there'll be a war. Lee's not going to take this lying down.
That's
You can figure out
that's
for
the line.
yourself what that means.
Yeah, there'll be a mutiny. It's funny that we can actually give him 5 free nuggets even now, as if he's interested in those. Not the time for that. So Bennet is in jail. There's a witness who claims to have seen Bennet. I'll have to find him if I want to discover the truth. You know what? Let's visit the farm, because we're a merc and we should let the guys know what's happened in Jarkandar, in the Valley of Mines, and let's speak with Hodges. Well, it's not the best time to have a walk through the open fields, so since we're on that, let's take a nap. Hopefully tomorrow will be more of a sunny day. Kinda grim over here. First one, let's talk to Hodges, 'cause he technically saw the whole thing. You're just enjoying yourself, aren't you?
Can I buy...
I don't have...
Not interested?
Why aren't you working?
Haven't you heard yet? The Paladins have arrested Bennet.
Okay.
What happened?
Well, we were in the city to shop when all of a sudden we heard a scream. Someone yelled, "There they are, get them." Boy, was I scared. I took to my heels and ran like the demons were after me. Bennet was right behind me. I don't know what happened, but when I got outside the city, he had disappeared. I must have lost him in the city.
At least you managed to make a run for it.
So why was Bennet arrested?
Murder. Bennet is supposed to have murdered a paladin. What nonsense. I was with him the whole time.
So why don't you go to town and explain the whole thing?
They'd stick me in the slammer as his accomplice. Nah, certainly not in the current situation.
Situation?
You know, Onar in the city. That's bound to come to a bad end.
Yeah, makes sense.
How did the mercenaries here on the farm react?
Well, I don't know exactly what they're planning, but some of them are really pissed off.
I can understand that.
If it were up to them, they'd rather attack the city today than tomorrow to get Bennet out. Talk to Lee. Maybe there's something you can do.
Certainly. Don't think going gung-ho on the paladins is a good idea. Torlov should have a quest for us concerning...
What are you wearing? Put on something decent.
Yeah, whatever you say, buddy. Media Merc. Happy now?
I was in the Valley of Mines. There are dragons there. They gave the paladins a pretty hard time.
So? Then there really is something to the stories. Lee will be interested.
That lie hasn't been read well. Anyway,
Have you got something for
give me
to
your
do?
quest.
Have you seen those black hooded guys creeping by here? Those people give me the willies, I'll tell you. When I was at sea, I saw some pretty curious things, but those fellows really scared me. They went in the direction of the bandit camp in the mountains at the southern end of the valley. Maybe you should go there and check on those guys and do away with them.
I'll certainly do that, but it's a side quest, so let's stay on track. He's seen a lot of sea monsters and who knows what else, but Seekers gave him the willy jillies. Alright, there's just 2 or 3 of them. Not a big deal. Lee, what up?
It's good that you've come.
What's up?
I found this in the old chapel. It's a magic rune. I think it will teleport you straight back here to the farm. I thought you might be able to use it.
That's one of the main reasons I wanted to follow the narrative and talk to the mercs, because they finally give you a teleportation rune and we don't have to cut all the videos between us tracking back between Onar's farm and the city and the monastery later on. We'll get a rune for that.
I have freed Gorn.
Yes, you already told me. Good work. He's worth more than Silvio and his boys put together.
That's very true.
I've come from the Valley of Mines. The castle there was attacked by dragons.
So it's true. Lars said that rumors about dragons are circulating through the city.
Look at the hero, man. It's like he's fighting black smoke.
They've been thoroughly decimated.
With the claw of Beliar in his
Maybe
back.
now
on his
Lord
back.
Hagen will think again about my offer. And if not, then we'll find another way to get out of here.
We sure will, brother.
Do you have better armor for me?
I sure do.
So, Heavy Merc 6060, no thanks, we got a better one. Pirate's armor has 55, and Raven's Guard armor has 70, I think. So we're good.
Don't you have anything else for me to do?
You can't get enough,
Just can't
plenty of
get
trouble
enough.
as it is. What else do you want then?
Another assignment. I'm a mercenary, remember?
All right, I've got something. It's just the thing for you. I have a debt to settle with the judge in town. I'd actually prefer to do it myself. But the paladins wouldn't let me within a stone's throw of his house. The thing has to be handled with a bit of consideration, so pay attention. You'll go to the judge and offer him your services.
Right.
You'll try to win his trust and carry out some dirty work for him until you find something to incriminate him.
Right.
The swine has done so many dirty jobs that it stinks to high heaven. Bring me something I can use to blacken his name with the militia, so that he spends the rest of his life molding in the slammer. But I don't want you to kill him. That would be too quick. I want him to suffer, understand? Do you think you can do that?
Sounds like a fair deal. I wouldn't mind him rotting in the slammer anyway. He was the same judge character that we saw in the beginning of the Gothic 1 intro. How much?
No problem. How much?
Your reward depends on what you bring me, so make an effort.
I will, don't worry. What about Bennet?
What about Bennet?
So you heard about that. The bastards have locked him up, just like that. As if I didn't have enough problems with my own people. Now I have to take care of the paladins too.
What will you do about
What are we
Bennet?
gonna do? Oh
I
no.
don't know yet. A few of the boys would like to run to the city and knock Lord Hagen's teeth down his throat. Luckily, we don't have enough people for an operation like that. And besides, it's not my style.
Are you going to stay here and see what happens then?
Certainly not. Lars is still in the city and trying to find out how we can get Bennet out of there. Until that happens, I'm trying to calm my people. I only hope that Lars doesn't take too long.
Laris won't
before I
do a
forget,
goddamn
Buster
thing.
wants to talk to you. He wouldn't tell me what it was about. Maybe you should go see him.
Oh yeah, Buster and his Shadow Beast horns that we can get because that's not a skill we're interested in at all.
Can I help you in this matter with Bennet?
Sure, a bit of intelligence and sanity certainly
Oh,
wouldn't hurt in this
thanks.
matter.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Enos knows there are enough idiots running around here.
Oh yeah.
Go to the city and see if you can find a way to get Bennet out of there. But don't be too long about it. I don't know how much longer I can keep the men under control.
Sure will, brother. Before I forget, because I always forget this, Khaled, he's a merchant, a weapons merchant. If you join the mercs, he should have the strongest crossbow in the game. The Dragon
What weapons
Puncher's
do you have to
crossbow.
offer?
Only the best. Just take a look at him.
180 damage, 150 required strength. Yeah, that's the good shit. Let's buy it.
I hardly know what to believe anymore.
Why not? Let's buy some bolts since we're here.
That's really not my problem.
And sell just a bunch of shit that we got as spare. Including the crossbow we've got on us right now. Bam, bam. Best crossbow you can get.
You!
Anything from me.
Can't believe
Right, so...
He never would have thought of that himself.
I know we got a bunch of shit.
That's the first I've heard of it.
Sell, sell, sell.
That's all just gossip.
Of course we got him in the end.
That's really
Sell.
That was quite obvious.
Especially the jewelry, because we can't deal with the fisherman now, as the Thieves Guild is history.
You listen to the wrong people.
That's the first I've heard of it.
That's been known a long time.
Yeah, that's enough for now. We're over 20k anyway. So we got the crossbow. I've armed it, right?
I'm not touching that.
Oh, forgot to sell this one.
Nobody
Jesus.
will learn anything from me.
I'm not at my best today.
Quite obvious.
Should be worth quite
Nobody will learn
a pretty
anything from
coin.
me.
Yep, 300.
Of course we got him in the end.
Pleasure doing business with you. Now, let's talk to Patrick.
I never knew that.
He's the merc or the slave leader from Darkandar, and he's returned to his duties. Should be right next to Cord.
I can't help it.
What up, Pat?
So, everything okay with you?
All's fine. The water mages let us safely out of this accursed valley.
And what will you do next?
I'm gonna continue to fight for Lee. And
Good,
someday,
good
we're
man.
gonna leave this island.
And then?
We shall see. If the war is still raging, we'll go up against the orcs. But that remains to be seen.
Alright. Cord will have a interesting and funny line for us, since we've saved his pal.
Patrick is back.
Yeah, man. I had almost given up hope. You...
Cheeky
Hey,
devil.
do me a favor.
Yes?
Spare us both your speech of thanks.
I wasn't going to thank you at all.
What?
But
I was just going to tell you that you're a damn cheeky devil.
Stay cool. You stay cool too, brother. Since we're very close to Dexter's old hideout, let's do the Black Hooded Figures quest.
How are you? And how are your sheep?
I heard the strangest things. Some sinister characters are said to have
Alright.
shown up at Sekob's. They're laying siege to his house.
Interestingly enough, I think this is the only NPC that tells you that Sekob's house is filled with seekers. No one else from the farm has that information, potentially. I could be wrong. And Pepe's definitely not the kind of guy you talk to in advanced chapters anyway. But funnily enough, he has a line about that. We'll pass by Sekob's in a few episodes. You can be sure of that once Zardas sends us there. So first Seeker coming up. Let's actually use the claw.
The Master wants your head. No one can save you now.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Claw of Beliar OP, as I said. Alright. Who's the next motherfucker? Oh, two dragon snappers close to each other. Let's try to attract one at a time. I'm not that crazy. And potentially there's just one seeker down here and one up there. Oh. Alright, that's a good strategy. Alright. And now we got a Seeker's corpse. I'll use that as bait, because I'll attract both dragon snappers here. Where is the second one? Can't see it for the trees. Alright, come to Papa. Yeah, that's the shit. So that's a good sorry, that's a good tactic to use if you want to use corpses as bait with powerful enemies. Animal enemies, not human, obviously. I think this is the only sneaker in this area. Yep, I think there's just 2 of them at this point. Could be that in chapter 4 or 5 a few more spawn down here next to Grom the Hunter, but for now apparently there's just 2 of them. This is not one of the quests I usually do in chapter 3, so that's why I could have seen more than just 2 Seekers in the past. Oh yeah, and there's a powerful guard we haven't dealt with over there. Let's kill him too. Because now we're strong enough. Yeah, he's just sitting there, not even attacking us. Oh yeah. This guy's a very tough nut earlier on, I can tell you that. That's why he gives you 400 XP. Let's just not fall down there, for God's sakes. And the Seeker should be next to the tree, right? Yeah. Let's gung-ho on his ass with the claw. You cheeky bastard. Look how he's hiding over there.
We have caught you in our trap. And now we shall destroy you.
Whatever you say, buddy. Stifled? Oh, now we're stifled. That means... Oh, stone tablet. That means we can't recoup our health points as we sleep. Which I'll demonstrate. Nightmares prevent your resting. God damn it. But we'll sort that out once we pass by the monastery. Just to show you, time has passed, so it's early morning. So time actually passes, but you don't recoup your health points. Where's the landlord one? Here it is. Let's go to Torloff and give him the good news. All's well. With the sneakers out there.
It was his decision, wasn't it? Enough trouble as it is.
He's just pissing around. And next to a woman. Jesus, you bastard. Should give you another beating for that.
That's the first I've heard of it.
No one wants to see a wiener dude.
The black-hooded men in the mountains are no longer with us.
You were able to deal with them? Good man. I didn't trust those guys one bit. They were bound to cause a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they're not good guys. Speaking of good guys, I think we can... Nah, not really. So we could get to 59 one-handed, but we can't get to 64. We need one more level up. Since we're here, let's give all of our old coins to Vasily. We'll get decent cash and XP even for any old coin we bring them. And we have a lot of them, since in Jarkandar there are more than enough of them.
Interested in some more old coins?
1000 XP.
Sure. You still have any?
A few.
Thanks. Here's your money.
Here's your
Bring me all
money.
you can find.
Okay, you mobster. So that means we had more than 100. Not bad, if I may say so myself. And I'd like to... Let's talk to Thekla as well. She might give us another stew if we rescue Bennet.
Can I have some more of your stew?
These militia bastards threw Bennet in the hole. do me a favor and get him out of there, will you? In the meantime, I'll cook you some yummy stew.
Same old
Aww.
all over again.
Sweet lady. Of course we'll rescue Bennet. One more incentive for us to do that. Jar.
Hey.
Don't think you have some line for us, right?
Any news?
Now you are one of us. That's good.
I've heard a thing or two.
Hero good, enemy bad. Alright, let's hop over to Harbor Town, I guess.
That's been known a long time.
Does Laris have some new line?
Any?
You could say so.
Nope. So let's head on straight to Lord Hagen. He should let us know what happened. And who's that suspicious fellow that potentially has proof over Bennet? For some reason I don't trust that guy, whoever he is.
Wouldn't be so sure. Nothing surprises me anymore.
Diego's minding his own business, as you can see. Probably some silent chitter-chatter with a random citizen. Good to know he's back on track, business-wise. Oh, and let's see the judge, since we're here. His lead gave us a quest, an interesting quest. The one you can only get when you're a merc. It's one of those whatchamacallem, guild only quests. What up?
How's it going?
You'd better scram, you filthy mercenary,
No.
before I call the guards.
Calm your
Relax.
tits, dude.
I'm not here to steal from you. I'm looking for work.
Ah, so you want
now
to
you're
work
interested.
For me. That is, of course, a different matter. There is, alas, one minor problem. I don't know whether I can trust you. You'll have to prove your
Boy,
loyalty
you don't
first.
sound dubious at all, pal.
Put me to the test.
All right. Listen. Bring me the sacred hammer of the magicians of fire.
God damn,
They keep it
you have
somewhere in
high
the basement of their
aspirations.
monastery. If you pull that off, I might think about hiring you as a bodyguard.
Don't you want to steal, I don't know, the whole monastery or the whole church for you? Jesus.
All right.
Fine. But remember, if they catch you, I've never heard of you.
Yeah. Suck my dick. We'll do that once we get to the monastery. Don't worry about that now. Let's get back on track and speak to Hagen.
You should really have known better.
I'm no better off myself.
Mr. Hagen.
I need to talk to you about Bennet.
But that's the mercenary who murdered one of my men.
I believe that Bennet is innocent.
The evidence is clear. He is guilty.
So what if the proof is wrong?
Be careful what you say. You raise some serious accusations. If you cannot present me with evidence that the witness lied, then you had best hold your tongue.
How come you're so sure that Bennet is the killer?
We have a witness. As you can see, there is no doubt about the mercenary's
no,
guilt.
That's
Who
not
is that
proof.
witness?
Who's
Cornelius,
the
the
witness?
governor's secretary, saw the murder.
Right.
His description fits Bennet, no doubt about that. As far as I am concerned, that settles the matter. The mercenary will hang for treason.
Without further ado, we'll see about that. Let's talk to the Cornelius fella. These political figures in town don't sound like trustworthy people to me. Oh, and by the way, we haven't spoken to this old fart.
Hey.
Another hilarious
What's
line.
your business here? If you want something, make an appointment.
Who are you?
Who are you?
I am Larius, the local governor. Even if it may not seem so at the moment, I am the most powerful man in this city.
So you're in charge here?
At the moment, my hands are tied. That Lord Hagen is in command here, for as long as he's in the city at any rate.
You don't look all that powerful, dude, let me tell you.
What business is it of yours? As long as the paladins are in the city, Lord Hagen takes care of all the affairs that concern the city.
I didn't mean to intrude.
You have failed
That's a lie.
at that, so go away.
Yeah, that's a funny line. Anyway, let's get back to this snaky customer.
You saw the murder of Lothar, didn't you?
I need not answer any questions about a current investigation. Lord Hagen already has everything I know on record.
Has he?
What was it you saw?
Really, I haven't got any time now. You need to go now. The office is closing.
Shitting in our pants yet?
Enough of that. What did you see?
I saw how the mercenary struck down the paladin from behind.
From behind.
And then he took his sword and rammed it through his chest.
Are you completely sure?
Kinky.
Yes, of course. I saw it with my own eyes. But I really haven't got any time now. There's a huge pile of paperwork I need to do.
Really? Shitting in our pants, aren't we?
I don't believe you.
So what? What are you going to do about it?
Well, since we're a merc, this line works. When you're a mage, this line works, because something like we have methods of convincing you to tell the truth in the monastery, and he'll tell you the truth. When you're a paladin or militia, sorry, you can't be a paladin yet, you actually need to bribe him with 2,000 gold. But when we're a merc,
I can tell the mercenaries where you live.
What is that supposed to mean?
I bet they're dying to make your acquaintance. They're not very happy at all.
You can't do that. They would kill me.
That is very possible.
I would rather
I'll
kill
say whatever you want, but you mustn't do that.
So we got him.
So what really happened?
I didn't see what happened. I received some gold for blaming that mercenary. In times like these, it's everyone for himself. I needed that money.
Who paid you?
That's enough. He'll kill me if I rat him out.
Are you gonna tell that to Lord Hagen too?
I'm not a lunatic. I can't stay in town now. I'll give you my diary. That should be proof enough.
Get out of here before I forget myself. Alright, let's read on his stupid diary. This is not his diary, I just wanted to know if this gives you some interesting info. Nope, it doesn't. Right, and his diary is here. Motherfucker got 20,000 gold, I think. God damn it. 20,000 pieces of gold. I wouldn't mind doubling my my stack. You could bribe a lot of people with 20,000 gold. So, something strange. Visit. The voice was calm. Kind of made you want to trust the guy. Dude, were you in love with him, or sounds like something else happened over there? Of course I agreed. Alright. I think you guys managed to read it. Let's get back down. Nah, I don't want to steal anything right now. I'm not that desperate. Mr. Hagen, I think you were wrong, sir.
Cornelius lied.
How did you know that?
Here, I've got his diary. Everything's in there.
That slimy little criminal! In view of the new evidence, there is nothing else I can do. By virtue of the office granted me by king and church, I declare that the prisoner Bennet is exonerated of all charges and is thereby a free man. Cornelius is to be taken into immediate custody for perjury.
He's made himself scarce.
Sooner or later he will turn up, then we shall arrest him.
Free at last, free at last. Praise God Almighty, we're free at last.
I must find a way. We must do perhaps.
Perhaps. We've got his letter of authorization anyway. All that remains is to go to the monastery with that. That should be our ticket in. Now, Judge's Lackey. We need the secret hammer of Venus. That's in the monastery as well. Tengeron's ring, value of mines. Black hide, don't care. Ring, Joe Furs, bandits in Jack Lighthouse. We could do that, but later. For now, let's think. You know what? Let's go to the monastery first. Because we need to get that teleportation rune ASAP. And basically the Eye of Venus is the main quest going on since about when we began. So that's the first quest you get from Zardos immediately as the game starts. So let's progress that. Once you save Bennet from jail, he teleports back to the farm anyway, so we don't have anyone to talk to about that. Let's just see if Zurus has something interesting in his inventory. Oh, again. Actually, we can buy his potions, because we need a shit ton of them. Let me buy this one. Not interested in this though. And Baltram, we could bribe him so that he actually deals with us. I think he needs ham and milk? Ham and something.
Couldn't
Wine?
we do business together after all?
Listen, if you bring me 10 hams and 10 bottles of wine, then I'll deal with you again.
You
I'll
cheeky
see what I can
cunt.
do.
Here's your fucking wine and ham.
Show me. It isn't the best quality, but in these times you can't be too picky. Now there's nothing that keeps us from doing business together.
You cheeky something.
Show me your ware.
Actually, let's buy these back, because Geralt from the Value of Mines in Chapter 4 might ask for some. Okay, and Abuin should have a new prophecy for us since we're in Chapter 3. Dragon related, of course. Let's hear it. We can get some XP from it anyway. Oh,
I've got a new tobacco blend.
The honey tobacco we got from Jarkandar.
Let me try your tobacco.
And some XP. Nice.
This tastes incredible.
Incredible.
I've never had a better smoke in my life. How did you prepare this blend?
I mixed the tobacco with honey.
You have done well, father of the art of blending. I would be delighted to fill my miserable pipes with this.
Fill her up then.
Thank you, son of generosity. No other blend.
Father of
could be as
things,
good
son
as
of
this
things.
one. I shall buy every bit you can bring me of this.
Alright. How about
Can
a
you make
prophecy?
me a prophecy?
Yes, time has progressed, and I shall give you a
Alright, Mr. Kebab.
or a paltry.
Oh, 250, that's nothing, man.
All right.
Yep, bring it on.
You shall force what is nobody's destiny but yours through fire and snow, through ice and flames, men in foreign armor, a swamp, lizards, they await you. That's all. There's nothing more I can see.
Okay. Let's do a save right here. And since the low road to the monastery is that long, let's drink one of these and teleport via those caves. Teleporter caves. Aided by, I mean not aided, but we got through the water mages. Nothing spawns here, right? Nope. Can just walk about freely now. That's the good thing about dealing with the orc and the wolf as early as possible. You can always teleport calmly afterwards. Now, let's just make sure we don't run into a nasty seeker. I could deal with those, but I like to see him before I see him, if you know what I mean.
That will never change.
Anything here? I know there's a seeker next to Isgaroth's place of prayer. And he wanders about. So we'll meet one for sure. Okay. So where art thou? He's usually somewhere around here next to the shrine. Where is he gone? Is he close to the bridge? Did he just not spawn? Interesting. In every gameplay I've done, there was a seeker next to Isgaroth. Well, anyway. Let's talk to Isgi. I think he might have some useful scrolls and potentially potions. Yep. Including one of my favorites, Ice Block. Let's buy them all. Fireball, sure, why not? Firestorm, why not? Grace Kelly's definitely useful. Ball Lightning, I mean, it's kind of mana dependent. Yeah, that's good enough for now.
May Inos watch.
Yes, sir. Now, let's see if that sneaky
Put down that weapon.
Shut up. Nothing yet. Interesting. I swear there's always a seeker over here behind Isgaroth. Anyway, speaking of men who got lost, there's a dude hiding in the bushes.
Hey, you. Ever
Hey,
been to the
you times
monastery?
2.
Maybe. Why?
Are they still taking on people? I wouldn't know where else to turn.
Yeah, dude, you need a sheep and 1,000 coins, and you don't look like a guy that has any of those.
Where do you come from?
I used to be captain of a big whaler, my boy. The sea is my home. My ship, the good old Magdalena, was sunk by pirates a few months ago, and now I'm stranded here. All I ever wanted was to go back to sea. But since I've come here, not one schooner is called at this accursed port. The only ship which is anchored in Corinthus is that blasted war galley of the king, and they don't take on anyone. So what else can I do? There's no work for me in town. I've tried everything.
Better get off that road.
Don't worry. I've already noticed that the wilderness out here has become damn dangerous in the last couple of days.
But, as you know, this is not the only reason he's standing there, not just because he needs shelter and he got lost. There are no ships coming into Corinthus. But more of that on that in next episode, probably. Speaking of people that came back, Milton. Oh, and was this added by the Remaster Mod? Nice touch. Never noticed this before, just a bench and a table. Very nice. I could see myself gazing towards the sunset and sunrise in that place. Nice touch, dudes.
I need to get into the monastery. It's urgent.
I can't let you into the monastery. I'll get in trouble with the High Council. Without the permission of my superiors, I can't let anyone into the monastery.
We're basically bros, dude.
I've got a letter from Lord Hagen.
Show me.
Well, in that case.
All right. Here's the key to the monastery. Pyrocar is in the church.
Stop being chicken.
How did you get to the monastery so fast?
What kind of a question is that? I crept through the pass and made my way straight to the monastery. Admittedly, it was never easy avoiding all the monsters making themselves at home on this side of the valley, but ultimately I encountered fewer problems than I expected.
Do you know where the others are?
Gorn seems to have coped with his stay in Garon's dungeon very well. In any case, he wanted to go to Lee and see what was happening on the farm. After the grub they serve in the dungeon, he's probably stuffing his face right now and putting the mercenaries' provisions to a real test. Diego mumbled
That
something
sounds
about a
like
reckoning.
him.
No idea what he meant by that, but I suspect he's in the city. You know him, always there when there's something to be had.
Definitely something to be had in the city.
Do you know anything about the hooded figures?
No, but I have a bad feeling about those guys. Be careful if you run into them.
Right, let's see this beautiful monastery for ourselves for the first time in this Let's Play. One of the most pretty and beautiful places in the entire Gothic 2 world, in my opinion. One more reason why I always prefer to do a mage run, but Dragon Hunter's almost as exciting for me. If I think about it, even more. Yeah, I think I actually slightly prefer the Merc run. Don't ask me why, I always sided with these guys. Gothic 1, Gothic 2.
I do not know why you were allowed to enter the monastery. I am Palin, and I am responsible
Monastery.
for our analysis. I do not want you to
Aren't
keep
you
them
a
from
bit
their work
puffed
with
up,
stupid questions.
pal?
Is that clear?
Stupid questions, I've got plenty of those.
Sure.
I certainly hope so.
I'm staying out.
Opolov, the man with the strained lisp. Let's meet the guy.
How are the sheep?
How do you think they are? They stand around and munch grass.
Munch
I'd
grass?
rather know what's happening outside. The magicians seem to be very nervous.
Oh boy, let me tell ya.
Strangers in black robes roam the countryside.
What do you mean? What sort of strangers?
Nobody knows where they've come from. They wear long black robes and they cover their faces. They seem to be some kind of magician. At least they're capable of magic.
That sounds very disturbing, but I'm sure that the High Council will solve this problem.
Sovereign succotash.
There are dragons in the Valley of Mines. They are besieging the royal troops together with the army of orcs.
Dragons? I always thought they only existed in horror stories.
They're there, believe me.
But the King's Paladins will deal with them, won't they?
We'll see.
Yeah, they're not doing a good job at that, let me tell you, but... here's a key, actually, to the library that you can find when you're not a mage. Let's just nab it. And... actually, let's speak with the High Council members first, just following the story. Pyrocar, Serpentes, my favorite out of the three, because he's the most arrogant, and he has a nice backstory, and Ulthar. First, Pyro.
I've come from the old Valley of Mines.
What do you have to report?
The enemy has formed up there with an army of orcs and dragons.
We have already learned that from Milton. But what about the king's shipment of ore?
The mine they are digging for Garand in the valley cannot satisfy the demands of the king.
The days are becoming grayer, and the light of the sun is ever weaker.
I was attacked by men in black robes.
I know. Those are the Seekers, henchmen from the nether realms of Beliar. Beware of them. They will try to take possession of you. Once possessed, you will no longer be yourself. Only here in the monastery could you find help then, so be careful. Here, this rune will bring you directly back to the monastery if you need our help. Remember, we must offer resistance or we shall all be doomed.
Alright, so we got the rune. Let's solve the possession things, because sounds like we're possessed.
I think I'm possessed. Can you heal me?
Not without a token of your respect for this monastery, my son.
Of course.
300 gold coins.
Pricey, but worth it.
Great. Here's the money.
We get 2 potions for
Drink
that.
this. May the mercy of Enos be your salvation.
Actually, let's drink it instantly, otherwise I'll definitely... Oh, elixir of dexterity, forgot about that. And healing of possession. Nice. Almost like a newborn. Wow, this church looks amazing in the remaster mod. God damn. Beautiful. Thumbs up.
I have come to take the Eye of Innos.
I see that you have received an authorization from Lord Hagen himself to bear the Eye of Innos. I am afraid that I have to disappoint you. We have fallen victim to a treacherous plot of the enemy. The Eye of Innos has been violently taken from these sacred walls.
What the balls?
Who did this?
Evil is cunning and usually works in secret. Only rarely do you see it emerge to pursue its evil machinations in broad daylight. But these days, it's a different matter. The enemy now shows himself openly in the street, in every home and every public square. This can only mean that he no longer fears any adversary and is not going to shrink back from anything. One of our most faithful followers, a candidate for the high robe of the Magicians of Fire, has changed his allegiance unexpectedly, and in an alarmingly evil manner. Pedro. The enemy has taken possession of him, thus inflicting a terrible defeat upon us. Pedro has forced his way into our most sacred halls and stolen the eye. I fear that he simply spent too much time by himself, outside of the gates, and thus beyond the protective walls of the monastery, exposed to all lurking dangers.
So, sneaky old Peter, huh?
Where did the thief flee to?
Pedro knocked down some of the other novices who tried to stop him and disappeared into the morning mist. Many novices have gone after him to bring the eye back to its place unharmed. If you want to catch up with him, you need to hurry before Pedro disappears out of your reach.
Can I get a blessing, sir?
I could surely use it.
May Innos stand between you and harm on all the unholy paths you will have to walk.
But just for the story's sake.
One more little thing. Stay away from the roadside shrines. We have heard that some of them have been desecrated. No one can say what effect they have now. It is not your task to solve this problem.
Look at those two on the left, how they're staring at me. That was funny. It's alright. We're not exactly a man of God. We only pray to the shrines for
not
other
so
benefits.
Fast. I have another task for you. A mercenary for hire of your kind could
yes,
be of use to us in this matter.
Most deaf.
Whom should I kill?
For Innos' sake, no one, of course.
Well,
this business demands a bit more finesse, you lout. Salandrill, the alchemist from the upper end of town, is guilty of a serious crime and must be punished for it. However, he has refused to come to the monastery to be judged. Bring him here. How you accomplish this does not matter to us. You will, of course, be rewarded.
At least he didn't give us this stupid, what are they called? Mining ore shares? Stupid pieces of paper, 10, 15, 20 of them spread all across the land. That's an annoying quest. One of the few annoying quests in Gothic 2.
No problem. I'll take care of it.
Good.
Fine.
We expect to hear from you in a few days.
And we can do it as late as chapter 5 anyway. So not a problem. Before we end things off, let's speak with all the guys over here in the monastery, starting with Darian.
How's it going?
I thank Innos that I can be here in the monastery.
Why is that? I don't know. But I do know because I played as a mage.
What are you planting here?
We're trying to grow healing plants that Master Neoras can use to brew potions.
Potions.
So, how's it going?
You are only a guest here in the monastery of Innos, and therefore you should act accordingly and not disturb me while I'm working.
Oh, boo fucking who?
You already know what I think.
Sound like a...
Can I be of assistance to you?
Fun guy at parties.
What's your task here?
My tasks are many and varied. Not only am I the steward, but I am also the treasurer. Moreover, I supervise the wine cellar.
Oh.
And I'm in control of the monastery's food supplies. So, if there's anything
Handy
you
guy.
need, you can always come to me and get it. For a modest contribution, that is.
Modest meaning the same as any old prices. I need a few things. What do you got? Let's buy potions and be on our merry way. You could have interesting scrolls actually. Ice block, fireball, skills. Right, that's fine. Next, Babo.
Wait, mercenary. I need to talk to you.
Forgot about this.
The monastery is facing a very delicate situation. At the moment, everyone seems to mistrust everybody else. And then, this thing with Pedro, that's extremely... I have an assignment for you from the highest authorities. You're not a member of the Brotherhood of the Fire, and therefore, the only one here who can settle this matter for us. But I must warn you, if I give you this assignment, you'll be bound to fulfill it too. Once you know what it's about, you'll have no choice. Do you understand?
Yep.
Tell me what you want.
All right, then listen well, for I'm only going to say this once. Serpentis wants you to kill Pedro for his treason. As soon as you lay your hands on him, you will be paid as soon as this task is fulfilled. I never said that, and you haven't heard anything either. Understand?
Serpentis, huh? Sounds like an even more cunning and interesting fellow than I would have said before. Interesting. It's not like we'll eventually kill him, because that would damage our reputation with Vatras in Chapter 6. But yeah, interesting. Interesting quest. Not sure you can actually do it without consequences, even in Chapter 6. You can't meet Pedro again until Chapter 6. So, here we have the Sacred Hammer. And here we have a Sleep Scroll. That's safest way and the only way I can think of. You can solve this quest without actually damaging your reputation here. Because you can damage your reputation even in the monastery. Okay, what are you guarding?
What room is this?
This is where they keep the holy relics of the monastery.
Ooh, Abui.
What relics?
Is it you?
Here rests the Hammer of Innos, along with the Shield of Fire. These are the most important relics of Church of Innos, outside the capital of the realm.
Yep.
Tell me about the shield.
The Shield of Fire was born by Dominique in the battle on the Southern Isles. But the power of the shield is never to be wielded again. Therefore, we have nailed it to the wall.
Tell me about the hammer.
This is the sacred hammer of Innos. With this hammer, Saint Robar slew the Stone Sentinel. The Holy Scriptures say that the Stone Sentinel was invulnerable. He stood in battle like a tower, and the weapons of his enemies were smashed on his skin of stone. With the name of Innos on his lips, Robar hurled himself at the monster and crushed it with one mighty blow of his hammer.
Cool story, bro. But now it's sleepy time. Whack. Whack, whack. Talamon.
You are not permitted to go further. Turn back.
I will turn back. Right. You know what? It's been almost an hour. I think we're good for the day. We'll leave the rest of the monastery and the pursuit of the Eye of Innos for the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. You enjoy the rest of the day. Take care. See ya.